Hello everyone, welcome to everyone. So we are looking at gold. So before we start, let's try and identify what we are anticipating the market to give to us. We also look at the higher time frame, and then we also look at the months market condition, the daily market condition, the 4 hours, the 1 hour and 30 minutes, just for us to have an idea what we are anticipating the market to give to us. So let's go to the month. So looking at the information of the month market condition, we are in an uptrend. We have a strong bullish candle and a bullish candle and a bullish candle and a bullish candle. So that means the month market condition, we are in an uptrend. Let's delete this line. This is the recent candle, this month's candle, this January candle, which this month's candle is left with 15 days before this candle will close. This is the high of this recent month's candle, and this is the low, and this is the low of the last month candle. This last month candle closed with a rejection bullish candle. So it's very important for us to know what the month market condition is saying, the daily market condition, the 4 hours, the 1 hour, and the 30 minutes, just for us to have an idea what you are anticipating the market to give to us. So let's look at the daily. Looking at the formation of the daily market condition, this is the high of the month's candle, and this is the all-time high on gold, while this is the low of the month's candle. So from this high to this low, so looking at the condition of how the market structure is, so we are in a consolidation zone. Let's zoom the chart a little bit. So we are in a consolidation zone. So that means we are anticipating for this candle for it to create an upper wick, then for the wick to break the high of this bullish candle over here. Since this candle is open with no wick at the top, but it has broken the low of this bullish candle. So it's very important for us to know what you are anticipating the market to give to us, just for us to have an idea that if it is the right time for us to take a position. So for now, we don't need to do anything. So we have a support zone over here, we have a support zone over here, we have a resistance zone, and then we also have a resistance zone over here. But this strong bullish candle broke this resistance zone, and this candle over here also broke this resistance zone. So this resistance zone over here, this candle has broken this resistance zone, and it broke the high of this bearish candle over here. So the next candle was supposed to break the high to form a new all-time high, but the candle opened with no wick at the top, by which the candle broke the low of this bullish candle over here. So looking at the condition of the daily market structure, we are in a consolidation zone until the break of this all-time high over here, or until the break of this support zone over here. Then we can anticipate to take a position. But for now, we don't need to do anything since we are anticipating to see what the market condition is printing. So let's see how the daily market condition is. Candle came down to form a support zone, went up to form a resistance zone, came down to form a support zone. So looking at how the condition of the market structure is, if you are in an uptrend, you have a higher high, a higher low, a higher high, a higher low, a higher high, a higher low, and a higher high and a higher low, a higher high. So, but looking at how the condition of the daily market structure is, as I said, that we are in a consolidation zone. So since this is the high of the all-time high, and this is the low of the recent month candle. So we have a formation of candles like this that went up, came back down, also went up and closed with a rejection bullish candle. That this particular candle broke this resistance zone. That we also have is a resistance zone over here. But the moment this candle should close with a bearish candle, so that means this will be our resistance, that the candle wants to continue to come down to give us a consolidation zone, since we are anticipating this zone to be a consolidation zone. So it's very important for us to know what the market condition is saying. So it's best for us to kind of know what the month market condition is saying, the daily market condition, so which we are done with the daily. So let's go to the 4 hours so that we'll be able to know what the market condition is printing. So this is 4 hours time frame. So looking at the condition of the 4 hours time frame, it's very clear for us to identify a consolidation zone. Let me show you guys. We have a consolidation zone over here. We have a consolidation zone over here. We also have a consolidation zone over here. So this candle broke this resistance zone over here, and the candle closed with a bullish candle. That the next candle gave us a small bullish candle. So this zone is also considered as a consolidation zone. We also have a consolidation zone. So this is the break of this consolidation zone. This candle is the break of this consolidation zone. So that means you are anticipating a bullish candle to break this consolidation zone to create a new all-time high, or for the candle to continue to come down, for it to break this support zone over here. Because in a consolidation zone, you will have a resistance and you will have a support in a consolidation zone. So let's say this position over here is our resistance zone. This place over here is our support zone. This place is our resistance zone. This place is our support zone. This place is our resistance zone. This place is our support zone. So looking at the condition of the recent market structure, so this consolidation zone over here, that means you are anticipating for the candle to break this resistance zone to form a new all-time high, or for the candle to break this support zone, then the candle can choose to continue to come down to this support zone over here. So it's very important for us to know what the market condition is saying. So I love to identify my support zone and my resistance zone using the 30 minutes and the 1 hour. I believe you guys are aware of it since we have been doing live stream for some time now. So it's best just for the new people that are joining, and the new people that don't know how I do trade, just to let them, so that they'll be able to have an idea that this is how the market condition, and this is when we need to identify our support zone and when we need to identify our resistance zone. Looking at the condition of this recent consolidation zone, so this recent 4 hours candle is left with 3 hours before this candle needs to close. That we have a resistance zone over here, we have a support zone. So that means all we need to do is just for us to be patient until the break of this our support zone, or until the break of this our resistance zone. But we are not looking at the 4 hours. Like, we just want to have an idea what the month market condition and the daily and the 4 hour market condition they are saying. So just for us to have an idea that when it is the right time for us to take a position, and when it is the right time for us to just chill. So for now, we don't need to do anything, since we know that the month market condition, we are in an uptrend. The daily is consolidating, the 4 hours is also consolidating, so we don't need to do anything. So let's go to the H1 so that we'll be able to have an idea what the H1 market structure is saying. As you can see, this zone is still is being considered as a consolidation zone. So the H1, we also have a consolidation zone over here. So since this is the recent consolidation zone, we don't need this. Let's delete this. Let's delay this. So looking at the formation of the 1 hour, we are in a consolidation zone. So since I love to identify my support zone and my resistance zone using the 1 hour or the 30 minutes, so let's try and identify our resistance zone and our support zone, and for us to know when we need to open a position and what you're anticipating the market to give to us. So since this zone is being considered as a consolidation zone, so we have a support zone over here. I need to change the color. Let me change the color to change the color. So we have a support zone over here. We also have a resistance zone over here. So let's identify our resistance zone. We have a resistance zone over here. As you can see, the resistance zone is close to the wick of the recent month candle. Let me show you guys. So this is the high of this candle. The all-time high is at 4646.34. So let's go back to the 1 hour. And we are able to identify a resistance zone. So the resistance zone is close to the all-time high. That means the wick of the recent month candle. So that means if we are anticipating a buy position, that means we are anticipating a bullish candle to break this resistance zone like this. Let's assume that this is a bullish candle. Let me just change it to green so that it's not confuse anybody. So like a bullish candle, we are anticipating a bullish candle to break this resistance zone over here. Then the moment a bullish candle should break this resistance zone, that means the bullish candle we have to create a new all-time high. Since at the moment the recent month candle created an all-time high at 4646.34. So that means if you are anticipating a bullish candle to break our resistance zone, that bullish candle will have to create a new all-time high. So that means you're also anticipating a bearish candle to break this support zone for the next candle to continue to come down to the nearest support zone. And this is our recent support zone over here. So that means we are anticipating a bearish candle to break this zone for the candle to continue to come down to this support zone. So since we don't have a recent resistance, let me say for example that this is the recent resistance. So had it been that the previous candle has created an let's say for example that if a candle should break this resistance zone over here and close with a bullish candle, we don't have a recent resistance that we are anticipating the candle to continue to go up. That means if the next candle we have to break the high of this candle that closed with a bullish candle, that means the candle is coming to create a new all-time high. So it's very important for us to pay attention to the market condition, just for us to have an idea what the market condition is saying. So for now, we don't need to do anything. Since this 1 hour candle is left with 8 minutes for it to close. So let's wait for this candle to close. So since looking at how the condition of the market structure is, so let's go to the 30 minutes just for us to have an idea what the market condition is saying. So before we identify this zone as our recent resistance and we identify this zone as our recent support, we need to measure from the resistance zone to the support zone so that let's know the range, because it's very important for we to know the range. Let me just show you guys, like this is our support zone and this is our resistance zone over here. We are looking at like 700 pips and that's huge. So we kind of anticipating the markets to give us a very strong bullish candle like this, let me say example from here to a very strong bullish candle, or for the candle to give us a very strong bearish candle like this, it's only when you have news in the market, or it's only when there is like a very high volume in the market. So but this range from this resistance zone down to this support zone, like the range is huge. So we don't need to kind of anticipate the candle to give us like 700 pips to break this zone over here. No, the range is huge. So all we need to do is just for us to zoom the chart so that we'll be able to identify the recent support and the recent resistance. And then we also need to measure the range from the resistance zone to the support zone so that we'll be able to know what we are anticipating the market to give to us. So let's delete this box so that we'll have a very clear chart analysis. So our recent support is here. That means this will be our recent support because of the range. So we don't need to consider this support zone and this resistance zone. The range is huge. So let's try and identify our recent support over here. This is why I told you guys that I love to identify my support zone and my resistance zone using the H1 and the 30 minutes. So we are able to identify our resistance zone over here and our support zone using the H1. Like right now, so we are at the 30 minutes. All we need to do is just for us to kind of identify the recent support and for us to identify the recent resistance, and then we need to consider the range from the resistance zone to the support zone so that we're able to know how much we are anticipating the market to break our resistance and how much we are anticipating the market to break our support zone. So since this is the recent support zone, let's identify our recent resistance. Our recent resistance is here, which this 30 minutes candle is about to break this resistance zone. So these are our recent supports, while these are our recent resistance. So imagine you come to the market and then you have a zone like this from this resistance zone to this support zone. So it's likely you will see a candle to break your resistance zone like this, and then you see a candle to break your support zone like this. So we don't need to anticipate like the market to give us this strong bullish candle or this strong bearish candle. We don't need to do that. So, but we can expect the market to give us this type of market condition, like this range of candles and this range of candles as well, since we are anticipating the break of our resistance zone and the break of our support zone, which I'm going to tell us if it is the right time for us to take a position. So right now, we don't need to do anything. Even though this candle should break this our resistance zone, we don't need to do anything. Let's wait for this candle to close. Then the moment this candle needs to close, then we anticipate the next candle to kind of give us a lower wick, then for the body of the candle to break the high of this candle. So but for now, we don't need to do anything. So I'm going to tell us if it's the right time for us to take a position. So for now, we don't need to do anything, just for us to have a very clear chart, just in case of any new person that is joining. So we need to delete this. Let's delete this. We don't need it again. Let's also delete this. So we have a resistance zone over here and we have a support zone. So let's measure from this resistance zone over here down to the support zone. That means you are looking at 276 pips. That's a good range. So 276 pips is a good range. It's better than we kind of anticipating our resistance over here and our support zone over here, and the range from the resistance to the support we are looking at 700 and something pips, and that's huge. So our main resistance is here and our main support is here. This is our focus. So since we are still anticipating the candle to get to this resistance zone, so that means we are anticipating a bullish candle to break this resistance zone and a bearish candle to break this support zone. Then we can anticipate the candle to continue to come down to this support zone. So let's move this over here, because from this resistance zone down to this support zone is being considered as a consolidation zone. Let's zoom the chart a little bit so that we'll be able to locate the buy anticipation and the sell anticipation. So our sell anticipation is here. Then let's buy anticipation is here. So we don't need this. So this 30 minutes candle is about to close. So let's wait for this 30 minutes candle to close. Then let's see what the next 30 minutes candle want to do. Since we are anticipating to take a buy position, the moment a candle should break our resistance zone, and we are anticipating to take a sell position, the moment a candle should break our support zone. So we don't need to do anything as of this moment. So let's just wait and see. Let's see how the candle will close. Let's look at the 15 minutes candle just for us to have an idea what the 15 minutes market condition is saying. Okay, let's look at the 5 minutes. Okay, so let's go back to the 30 minutes. Let's see how this recent 30 minutes candle, let's see what the candle want to do. I'm just looking at my order screen just for me to have an idea what you're anticipating the market to give to us. So since this candle closed below this our resistance zone over here, then the next candle, it has created a wick at the bottom. So if this next candle should, let me show you guys, if this next candle should break the high of this bullish candle over here, let me zoom the chart a little bit. So this zone is being considered as a consolidation zone because we have a resistance zone over here, we have a support zone over here. So we have a rejection bullish candle, a rejection bullish candle. That this candle closed with a bullish candle, but it broke the high of this rejection bullish candle, and then this candle broke the high of this bullish candle over here. So but this candle, it didn't close above this our resistance zone, it closed below this resistance zone. When I say above, that means this candle can close like this too. Let me show you guys. Let me say this is the body of it. So the candle can choose to close above this our resistance zone over here with a wick like this. So if the candle should close in this form, it means the candle close above our resistance zone. So if the candle close beneath this resistance zone, it means the candle close below this resistance zone. So let me also give you guys an example using the support zone. So if a bearish candle should close like this with a wick, so it means the candle close below this our support zone. So I just want for us to know when a candle should close below the support zone or above the support zone, and below the resistance and above the resistance. So this candle, it closed below this resistance zone over here. So that means this next candle, it hasn't broken the high of this bullish candle over here. Let me delete this. So this candle, it hasn't broken the high of this bullish candle over here. Then the moment this candle should break the high, and then with our other confirmation, which I'm going to tell us if it is the right time for us to take a position, but we need to know that once the candle should break the high of this bullish candle over here, we will not take any position. We need to wait for the candle to break this week over here, this bearish candle week over here. So that means you are anticipating to take a position at 4614.949. We also have a resistance zone over here. So before we'll be able to take a position, so we need to ask ourselves, the moment the candle should break this high of this bullish candle over here, and the candle should also break the high of this bearish candle over here. So from the high of this bearish candle to this resistance zone over here, so let's measure it and see. We are looking at 28 pips. So that means we are anticipating volume to come to the market for the body of this candle. Let's assume that this candle decided to come down to create a wick, and then the body of this candle should break the high of this bullish candle over here. So that means we are anticipating volume to come to the market for the body of the candle to break the high, and for the body of the candle to break the high of this bearish candle. Then we can decide to take a position anticipating the candle to keep going up, because we need volume for it to push the body of this candle up like this, so that the candle will be able to break this resistance zone over here. The moment the candle should break this resistance zone with volume, that means you're anticipating for the next one to break the high of this bullish candle. Then the candle can choose to continue to go up, by which we'll be able to secure our profits. So, but before we'll be able to open a position, I believe you know how much you are risking in a trade and how much you want the market to give to you, because this is very important. Let's assume that from this resistance zone down to this resistance, zone, let's measure the range. So from this resistance zone down to this resistance zone, we are looking at 277 pips. So it's very important for us to know what we want and how much we are willingly to risk in a position. So since the range from this resistance zone over here to this resistance zone, we are looking at 277 pips. So that means you need to know how much you are anticipating the market to give to you. Let's measure from the support zone to the support zone. From this support zone to this support zone, let's measure the range. So from this support zone down to this support zone, we are looking at 180 pips. So it's very good for you to know what you want and how you want it before you can decide to take a position. And you need to know the range so that you kind of having a trading plan. Let me say your trading plan can say that you need to target like 500 pips, and then your stop loss will be like 200 pips. So if you have a range from your resistance to your resistance that is 277 pips, so and then your trading plan says 500. So now you need to ask yourself that, is it that you need to open a position and put your stop loss at 200 pips and then target like 500 pips? You need to know that this is the high of the recent month's candle. Like this is the high of the recent month's candle. That means you are anticipating the candle for it to continue to go up, but I will not advise you for you to do that. Everything just depends. Let me say example, your target is 500 pips and your stop loss is 200, and then let me say your lot size is one lot. So you need to calculate yourself, and you need to ask yourself that if from this resistance zone down to this resistance zone is 277 pips. So that means instead of you to use like one lot, you can choose to use like 1.5 lots. The moment you use like 1.5 lots, so you kind of targeting 500 pips. That means you need to reduce it to like 300 pips because of how you are able to increase your lot size. So you guys need to understand this because it's very important for you to kind of know what you're anticipating the market to give to you, because you can come to the market and then you meet a different market condition. So you need to ask yourself, this is my trading plan, this is what I need to do. But looking at the market condition says this, the market condition says this. So how will I be able to adapt this market condition with my trading plan? So it's very important for you to know what you want and how you want it. Don't chase the market. So this candle is yet to break the high of this bullish candle over here. Since this candle closed below this our resistance zone over here. So we don't need to do anything since this is the recent 30 minutes candle. So if the body of this candle should continue to go up to break the high and break the high of this bearish candle over here, then we can decide to take a position. So you need to ask yourself, where are we going to put our stop loss? So but the moment the candle should break the high of this bearish candle over here, since you are anticipating volume to come to the market, because this is the beginning of London Open. So for now, we don't need to do anything. Let's just wait. Let's see how this candle will close. If the body of this candle will have to reject of this zone to create a wick, and then the body of the candle will break the high of this bullish candle and this bullish candle over here. Since there is volume in the market, so the volume will be able to push the candle to break this resistance zone over here. So let's wait. We don't need to do anything. So let's wait and see how this candle will close. Let's see what this 30 minutes candle want to do. So that we'll be able to anticipate if we need to take a position or if we need to just be patient. So for now, let's just chill and enjoy the music. Just in case you guys have a question, you can send your message in the chat box and I'll get back to you guys. So the 30 minutes candle is left with 16 minutes before the candle needs to close. Let's see what the candle want to do. Let's see. Let's see how the 15 minutes candle is saying. The 15 minutes candle is about to close in the next 22 seconds. Resistance, support. Okay. Let's see the 5 minutes, what the 5 minutes candle is doing. Okay. So the 15 minutes candle has closed. So this is the beginning of the new 15 minutes candle. So let's see what this market condition want to do. That means you're anticipating the break of this bullish candle high and then the break of the high of this bearish candle. Then since this is London section, for the volume to continue to go up. Change from the resistance, this resistance zone over here to this resistance zone. You're looking at 277 pips. So I believe you need to know how much you are willing to give to the market in terms of you can from your entering position to your stop loss, how much you want to risk, and then how much you are anticipating the market to give to you. These things is very important while you are trading, because you are not here to gambling. It's not just when the candle is going up or when the candle is coming down, you decide to take a position without having a target. No, we are not doing that. We know what we are doing. We are not gambling. So let me say, as of yesterday, like I didn't see a trade yesterday. So, but yesterday the market condition was just consolidating. I sent a video as of yesterday how I didn't take any trade as of yesterday, because you can come to the market, you are done with your analysis, you are done identifying your support zone and your resistance zone. So all you need to do is just for you to be patient. You don't need to do anything. Then you need to wait until you are able to identify a setup, until you are able to identify that thing that you are anticipating the market to give to you before you can decide to take a position. So as of yesterday, I didn't see a trade yesterday. Even when I came to the market yesterday, I did my analysis and then I was just patiently waiting. Pre-London, no volume in the market for you to break the structure with my order confirmation. London open, there was no volume. I waited till pre-New York. I don't usually trade like New York section, but yesterday I kind of just anticipate to see if I will see a break of the structure. Then with my order confirmation, which I was anticipating the market to give to me, but there was no, like, I didn't see a setup as of yesterday, so I didn't take a position, so I didn't lose any money yesterday, and then I didn't win any money yesterday. So this type of thing is normal when you come to the market, especially when you know what you are doing. It's not just when you come to the market, maybe you say, oh, here is support, here is the resistance, then you decide to take a position. No, you need to have a trading plan. Then you need to know what you're anticipating the market to give to you before you can decide to take a position. So looking at the condition of this 30 minutes candle, like I told you guys that the body of this candle can continue to come down to create a wick. So that means this candle has broken the high of this bullish candle over here. So we don't need to do anything. So we need to wait for the body of this candle to break the high of this bearish candle. Then since this is the beginning of London section, so we are anticipating volume to push the body of this candle up for it to close with a strong bullish candle. So, but we need to know how much we are risking in a trade and how much we want the market to give to us. So the moment the body of this candle should break the high of this bearish candle over here, I'm going to open a position. So let's measure from our entering position over here down to the stop loss, down to the low of the candle. We are looking at 89 pips, but I will not advise you for you to put your stop loss here, because I don't see any reason why the candle should continue to come down and then the candle should break the high of this bearish candle and for it to continue to break this week over here. I don't see any reason. So you can choose to set your stop loss at 40 pips, 30 pips, or 50 pips. The moment the body of the candle should break the high of this candle over here, I'm going to take a position. I'm not going to set my stop loss at 80 something pips. I can choose to set my stop loss at 50 pips or 60 pips. But for now, let's wait and see. We don't need to do anything. So I can target like 123 pips. So 60. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see what the market condition is doing. The 5 minutes created with no wick at the top. So the 5 minutes should respect the low. Let's see what the market condition wants to do. Let me get my MT5 ready. It's very important for you to know what you want and how you want it. So we know what we want. So we are just waiting for the candle to give us our setup, then we'll be able to take a position. So the 5 minutes, it hasn't broken the low of this bullish candle over here, and then it hasn't broken the low of this candle over here. So let's see. And it created with no wick at the top, and it hasn't broken the high of this bullish candle over here, and the candle is left with 3 minutes. So let's see what the market condition wants to do. Let's see what the market condition wants to do. The 15 minutes candle, the 30 minutes candle. So the 30 minutes candle is left with 8 minutes for this candle to close. 8 minutes. So what should we do? 8 minutes. Yes, I understand that with 5 seconds, you'll be able to see like a candle. This candle can decide to shoot like this. Candle can decide to shoot with a very strong bullish candle. Just a snap like this, it can shoot. But you're not anticipating this type of market condition, no. I'm not anticipating it for it to happen like that. It's left with 7 minutes for this candle to close. It's left with 7 minutes for this candle to close. It came up, came back down. So let's see. 7 minutes. Well, let's see what the 1 hour market condition is doing. The 1 hour market condition is likely going to continue to go up to create a bullish candle, just like how this candle closed with a strong bullish candle. Let me see what the 4 hours market condition it has created a wick. So let's see. This is why I always tell you guys, don't just come to the market when you're not prepared. No, Like you kind of having a trading plan is like a structure, and it's like something that will guide you through. You are not coming to the market to chase the market. You are not coming to the market to gamble. You're coming to the market for you to kind of anticipate the market to give you what your trading plan says. So you kind of sitting down patiently when you're done with your analysis and then you didn't see anything, like you must not open a position. Like it is not a must that you must come to the market and see what you're anticipating the market to give to you. No, you don't need to do that. So for now, let's wait. Let's see. But this 30 minutes candle is left with 6 minutes or 5 minutes. So if this candle should continue to go up to break the high of this bearish candle over here, I'm not going to take a position, because imagine 30 minutes candle is left with 5 minutes. I'm not going to take a position. So let's see. But this candle is yet to break the high of this bearish candle over here. But it has broken the high of this bullish candle over here. That this candle closed below this resistance zone over here. So it's very important for us to know what we want. If you are here for you to gamble, you can decide to do anything, open a position, and then without you kind of having something that will guide you through. So it's very important for you to, that's why they say have a mentor, learn from somebody, because the person must have had several of experiences in the forex market. So all you need to do is just for you to kind of learn from the person. When you have a question, you ask the person. When you're learning, you keep learning, you keep learning, you keep learning, you keep learning. And then with your experience, you'll be able to understand what the person is trying to explain. Sometimes it's very good for us to have somebody that we can reach out to, most especially if you're a new trader. So most especially if you're a new trader, have somebody that you can reach out to, then the whole thing will be very easy for you. So we don't need to do anything since this 30 minutes candle is left with 4 minutes. Let's see how this 30 minutes candle want to close. If the 30 minutes candle will choose to close with a bearish candle, so and then the moment the next candle should respect the low of this bearish candle, if this candle should close with a bearish candle and break the high of this bearish candle, we are not going to do anything. We need to wait until the candle needs to break the high of this bearish candle, and then I would tell us that it is the right time for us to take a position. Because sometimes people think the whole thing is just all about the break of resistance and the break of support. No, you have different factors. You have different things that you need to look at before you be able to take a position. It's not just all about the break of support, and it's not all about the break of resistance. Because if the whole trading like strategy is all about the break of support and break of resistance, it's very easy for anybody to just look at what you are doing. Oh, okay, I can identify here, I can identify here. Anytime the candle should get to this place. No, you don't need to do that. So imagine you yourself, like you are trading this type of market strategy that the moment the candle should break your resistance and your support, definitely like you'll be in a drawdown for this trade, because you will definitely take position here. That means where will you put your stop loss? Imagine you take a position here. Will you put your stop loss here? Let's assume that you decided to take a position here. So your stop loss will be here. So you're looking at 116 pips. So sometimes it's very good for you to know what you want, how you want it. Learn from somebody. If you don't understand anything, ask question. Learn from somebody, because that person that you're learning for also learns from somebody that they keep asking questions, and at some point they were able to master the skills. So it's very important for you to kind of have a mentor or have a community that you guys do trade together and share idea. So this is why I do live stream, so that the members will be able to know how I trade. Then they'll be able to ask questions, then we'll be able to learn and then make money together. So this 30 minutes candle is about to close. This 30 minutes candle can choose to close with a rejection, bearish candle, or a doji candle, or a bullish candle. So let's wait. Since this candle is left with a minute for it to close, but since we are still anticipating the break of this bearish candle over here, we don't need to do anything. So let's see what the next candle want to do, because it's very important for us to kind of wait. You not taking a position and you securing like your money. It's better for you to secure your money than for you to rush and open a position and end up with a loss. So always know what you want and how you want it before you can decide to take a position. So for now, we don't need to do anything. Let's wait for this 30 minutes candle to close. Let's see what the candle want to do. So the candle closed with a doji candle. This candle closed with a doji candle, but it broke the high of this bullish candle. It respected the low of this bullish candle. So now you need to ask yourself, this next candle, what is your plan if this next candle should continue to break the high of this bullish candle? Are you still going to take a position? Everything, like I said, it's all about you kind of having a trading plan. You know what you want and how you want it. So if this candle should close with a doji candle, this other candle close with a bullish candle. So now you need to ask yourself that what is the probability that the next candle we have to create a lower wick. Let me show you again. We have to create a lower wick like this. Create a lower wick. Let me say this is the body of the candle. Let's say this is the body of the candle. So you need to ask yourself, what is the probability that the next candle have to create a wick like this, a lower wick like this? Then for the body of this candle to break the high of this this doji candle over here. Then for the body to break it like this, and for it to break the high of this bearish candle over here, since you are anticipating this candle, the break of this bearish candle. So for the body of this candle to break the high of this bearish candle, then for it to, with volume, since this is London open, so with volume, so that means the body of the candle can continue to break this resistance zone over here and close with a strong bullish candle like this, or close with a bullish candle like this, for the next candle to break the high of this bullish candle, then for it to continue to go up and close with a bullish candle. So this is what we are expecting the market to give to us. But if this candle should decide to break the high of this doji candle, we are not going to do anything. It's very important for us to know what you are anticipating the market to give to us. So for now, we don't need to do anything. This is how a 15 minutes candle close, a rejection bullish candle. So it's very important for us to know what you are anticipating the market to give to us. The 5 minutes is forming a consolidation zone over here. That's created a new resistance, but it's still part of this resistance zone. I'm not considering the 5 minutes or the 15 minutes. Well, I just love to have an idea what the different time frame is doing, because it's very important for you to just have an idea. It's just all about you clicking, kind of anticipating what the market condition is doing. So for now, we don't need to do anything. Let's go back to the 30 minutes. Let's see if this candle we have to respect the high of this doji candle over the low of this doji candle over here. So let's see what the candle wants to do. Let me see. Let me see from this high of this candle to this resistance on 20 pips. So from this place to here, we're looking at 21 pips. So if we move our entering position, because of how the market condition is, since this candle closed with a doji candle, and we'll move our entering position to this place. So, and we are targeting like a 120 20 pips or 125 pips. So the question is, where are we going to put our stop loss? Let's see. For now, we don't need to do anything. But let's adjust our entering position from this high over here to this resistance zone over here. Because this candle closed below our resistance zone. This candle didn't close above our resistance zone. This candle closed below our resistance zone. The next candle broke the high of this bullish candle and closed with a doji candle. The next candle is set to break the low of this doji candle and the high of this doji candle. So it's very important for you to kind of pay attention to what the market condition is doing, because you kind of come into the market and tell yourself that, oh, you are going to take a position at 1. You are anticipating the market to come to 1. Sometimes the market can give you a different kind of formation that you need to adjust your 1 to 1.5, because this thing is very important. You are sitting down patiently when you are done with your analysis. So you don't need to chase the market. You don't need to force things. Just allow it to click. So because of how the condition of the market structure is, so we have decided to adjust our entering position to this resistance zone over here. So our entering position is here. So if the candle, that means we are anticipating this candle to break the high of this doji candle, to break the high of this bearish candle and get to this resistance, then we'll be able to take a position. So for now, we don't need to do anything. So let's wait and see if this candle will continue to come down to break the low. If this candle should break the low of this doji candle, that means our buy position is no longer valid. When I say it's no longer valid, that means we will not anticipate this particular candle for it to get to this place and for us to take a position, because it has broken the low of this doji candle. But as of now, it hasn't broken the low of this doji candle as of now. So we are just anticipating what we want the market to give to us. So let's see what this candle wants to do. But looking at how the formation of this candle, it can still continue to come down to break the low and close with a bearish candle, or break the low and continue to go up, which I'm not going to take a position. Always know what you want and how you want it before you can decide to take a position, because we have a trading plan. We know what we want. We know how we want it. We are not chasing the markets. We are not here for us to gamble. No, we are trading. So this recent 30 minutes candle is about to break the low of this doji candle over here. So let's see what the candle wants to do. Let's see. But in the next 2 minutes, I'm going to head off. But let's wait and see if this candle, we need to break the low of this doji candle first. Let's see what the market condition wants to do. Let's see what the market condition want to do. So this bearish candle has broken the low of this doji candle over here. That means our buy position is no longer valid. If this candle should choose to, let me say, the body of this candle should choose to continue to go up to break the high. So since the body of this candle came down, that means if the body of this candle should still want to continue to go up, so all we need to do, let me say example, like the body has created a wick like this, because the body will have to create a wick like this since the body is here, and if the candle wants to continue to go up, that means this will be the wick. So if this candle should continue to break the high, of this bear and get to this our resistance zone, I'm not going to take a position because it has broken the low of this doji candle over here. So that means this our buy position is no longer valid. Rather, this candle want to continue to come down to close in this consolidation zone, or if since there is volume in the market, if the candle wants to continue to come down to get to this support zone, I'm not going to do anything because I'm not chasing the market. So I don't need the market to give me like a different formation that is not part of my trading plan. So it's best for us to know what we want and how we want it before we can decide to take a position. It's all about you being disciplined. You need to be disciplined. You need to know what you want, and you kind of having a trading plan. It will guide you and it will make the whole thing for you to be easy because it will tell you if it is the right time for you to take a position. So you don't need to do anything. So since this candle has broken this touchy candle over here, I'm not going to do anything. So I'm going to head off, which I'm going to see you guys on Monday. Since our live stream is on Monday, Tuesday, and on Thursday. So I'm going to see you guys on Monday. But I usually send my analysis, like the markets analysis, to our community so that everybody can take advantage of what we are anticipating the market to give to us. You kind of joining our community does not mean that the thing will just leave you, or we'll just know, we'll keep guiding you, we'll trade together, we'll learn together. You have a question, like we all come together every day, like you see us, we communicate, we talk, you only ask question, like we just learn. So since it's a community, like it's a community for us to learn, for us to interact, for us to kind of make money together every day. See, I understand that we can come to the market and we are done with our analysis, and then we will not see a trade or anything. It's normal. Or you can come to the market and you take a loss. It's also normal. So always know what you want and how you want it before you can decide to take a position. So I'm going to see you guys on Monday for our live stream on Monday. And then enjoy yourself and don't open a position if this candle is continuing to come down to break our support zone. Don't do that. So that what we are anticipating a bearish candle to close. Let me say this candle needs to close with a bearish candle like this. Close the bearish candle like this. Then for the next one to close with a bearish candle like this. Let me change the color so that you're going to be able to understand that that's a bearish candle. So the bearish candle is this way. So I'll close with a bearish candle. That's the next candle. We have to close below this our support zone. So this is a bearish candle. Have to close our support zone. Then the next candle we have to create an upper wick like this. The next candle we have to create an upper wick like this. I'm coming, let me see. I have to create an upper wick like this. Then for the body of the candle to continue to come down to break the low of this bearish candle, and it needs to break the low of these weak candles over here, and then you can decide to take a position. But you need to know how much you are risking as of your entering position to your stop loss, and how much you want the market to give to you. Then you can anticipate the market to continue to come down to get to your support zone. So it's always important for us to know what we want and how we want it before we can decide to take a position. So I'm going to see you guys on Monday. Enjoy yourself and happy trading to everyone. See you guys. All right. Cheers, man.